coated all of the other test pieces again this morning, and in addition to that, I'm going to finish this piece of rosewood. I don't know what ilk it is. I don't know if it's East Indian. I don't know if it's Honduran. I don't know. It's some kind of rosewood. But it's got a pretty prominent grain structure to it. Pores are pretty decent in size. I don't know how happy I was with the pore filling experiment on those woods using the Tru-Oil and the slurry that was supposed to come off of that. May not have been doing it right, but the end result is I don't think that's quite gonna suit my purposes. So now what I'm gonna do in addition to all of that is I'm going to grain fill this, and I got to think for a minute on how I want to do that. I could do the Z-epoxy because I've done Z-epoxy. I could do super glue. I've done super glue, or I don't know, there's some kind of pore filling, other pore filling compounds out there that I could use. I've seen people do it with egg whites. I don't think I'm quite ready to do that. We'll see. I've got to go pick up a spray booth this afternoon, so I can get to work on that thing right there. And I'm going to look at what they have to offer at my local Lowe's store for grain filling, and we may go that route. But this will have to be, I'm going to sand this the same grits that I've been using. I'm probably going to go one higher though. I'll sand it with 180, and then I'll sand it with 220, and then 320, and then 400, and then probably up to 600, maybe even a little higher than that. I don't know, because this is wood that's representative of the guitar I'm building up at Art Guitars, the D28 that I'm building. So, and I'm going to finish that. I'll finish that myself. So the experiment with the spruce is actually going pretty good. The Sitka spruce and the Tru-Oil is going good. But I want to make sure I get this done, because that's the back and the sides, and that's a big chunk, and I want to make sure I get that done right. So off to the sanding desk. Hey, welcome back to the quickly getting a little too warm to work in garage. It's like flipping 96 outside. Anyways, here is our piece of nice rosewood of indeterminate source. I'm gonna take a stab and say that it is East Indian rosewood versus Honduran rosewood, because I have some scraps of Honduran rosewood, and man, do they smell good. This one, not so much. It could just be the wood, you know. Let's be honest, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this is the piece that I'm going to use for this test. It has been sanded 180, 220, 320, 400, 600, and oh crap, did I do 800? Stand by. No, I think I stopped at 600. Yeah, I stopped at 600. So, stopped at 600. And then have cleaned it with naphtha, scrubbed it with a toothbrush, blown it with compressed air, tried to get as much of the grain, the little pores, I've tried to get them as open as I can. Can you even see? The little tiny holes there, that's the grain. And that's what we've got to fill up. So I've been doing some research and kind of poking and prodding around. And since this is, of course, a test, I forgot my gloves like a doofus. Since this is a test, I can do what I want to do. So I didn't like the slurry method. Part of it, the Tru-Oil slurry method, and I think part of the reason was perhaps the woods that I was working on didn't give off a lot of sawdust. So here's what I'm going to do. I think I got this idea from O'Brien's website. This is the good stuff. This is sawdust from rosewood. So what this test is going to do is I'm going to kind of produce my own slurry, not by sanding it initially, but by first I'm going to wet the surface and get it on the road to soaking up this Tru-Oil, and then I'm just going to dust this rosewood powder on the top of this. And you know what I need to do? Get Tru-Oil in my hair. That's what I need to do. Now I have to wait for the fan to go away. So we're going to see if this will help to fill that grain. Because you know what? I got no shortage of dust. I got dust all over the place. And I'm just going to work it in here like this. And is this going to work? I had no idea. It should produce, it shouldn't be like really anything shocking what this is going to do, because this is the same, this is like the same piece of wood that all this dust came off of. So if anything, we're not going to get that really dramatic grain filling effect that we see a lot of times. Hopefully we're just going to level it out and not really affect the visual aspect of this. I'm just using my little t-shirt squares that my girls cut for me yesterday. They had a weak moment and just, I think I heard one of them say bored, and I went, I can help you with that. So I have this tissue, or this this piece of t-shirt, and I've just got a piece of paper towel wadded up on the inside of it. It's kind of like a mouse, which is I think what they call it when you do a French polish. The main reason I'm doing it, it's a lot easier on my hands. If I hold my hands clamped for too long a period of time, or if I'm doing this, my hands cramp, because I'm an old man. I'm 3 feet in the grave. starting to get a little tacky. Yeah, I think she's there. And we're just going to let that sit for like a day. Well, this is a first coat, so I would let that sit for a day anyways. But I might let this one sit for, we'll see. We'll see how good it fills the grain in. We may have to do this multiple times to get this smooth. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Yeah, I still haven't looked that spontaneous combustion thing up. Man, I've been busting my ass today. So, all right, there it is. We will we'll let that dry maybe a day or two, and then probably sand it down. See how that works. Refill. I got a feeling I'm going to have to use a little more powder than I initially put down there, but that's okay because I got a bunch and I can make more. So from the sweaty garage, cheers, and keep checking back. Now I'm going to go make a custom brace clamp for the Lazarus. Yeah, that'll be fun. No disaster potential there.